Last week, Israel celebrated its Independence Day, but Bashar Iraqi did not take part in the festivities. While most Israelis were barbecuing or taking the family to watch the military air show, Iraqi was leading a group of children on a march to mark Nakba Day, commemorating what the Arabs call their catastrophe, which accompanied the formation of the Jewish state. Born and raised in the Arab city of Tira, Iraqi says he experienced firsthand the pain of discrimination.
I feel as a second-class citizen. I can see that I'm a second-class citizen, and this is how the government and the country treats me. You don't need to be a nuclear scientist to tell the difference between an Arab city in Israel and a Jewish Israeli city in Israel. The infrastructure, the education system, the health system, the funds that we receive are all pointing towards discrimination and racism against the minority of Palestinians living in Israel.
Iraqi's experiences and his family's history shaped his identity. He rejects the label of Israeli Arab, preferring to define himself as a Palestinian living in Israel.
I can't say I'm Israeli and feel very comfortable about it. I can say I live in Israel and I hold an Israeli citizenship, which is reality. I am a Palestinian and I belong to the Palestinian nation.
Others may have been content to wallow in victimhood, but that's not Iraqi's style. Every day he gets up and makes his way to the Knesset, where he works as a personal advisor for an Arab lawmaker, aiming to use whatever means necessary to improve the fate of his people.
If no one is doing it for you, you have to stand up and do it for yourself. Injustice and discrimination will always be here in Israel or somewhere else. What we're trying to do is what the government is not doing for us. What we're trying to bring to the community is what the government usually bring to the people. The Knesset members, Arab Knesset members, been in the Knesset since the establishment of the country. 66 years of Arab politicians taking part of the Knesset. And they are doing their job. They are using every tool they are offered and every tool that they can get from the position they are at.
In addition to his work in Parliament, Iraqi also founded a non-profit organization aimed at educating and empowering the youth of his city.
I wanted to recognize the rights as Palestinians, as Arabs in this country, and at the same time, I wanted to recognize the rights as Israelis. I wanted to understand what is it to be an Israeli, what is it to be a citizen of a country in general. The goal is to make these kids feel strong enough to believe in their own selves and to fight for a better life.
But it's not only his people who have to strive for better. Iraqi demands change also from the Jewish majority of Israel.
It's time for them to stand up and say, we're doing something wrong. And I'm not talking about occupying the West Bank. I'm not talking about wars against different countries. I'm talking about a community that shares the land, air, and food inside the same borders of the same country they live in.